The Lord Murphy Costigan treatment continues. Sounds like an Agatha Christie novel. The Lord Murphy Costigan treatment. Yes, involving some kind of unguents for the face, and there may be a preparation for the back, the sack of the crack. Could be. I don't think so, but certainly for Southern States Wrestling, the Lord Murphy Costigan treatment is not very nice. It's not wholesome at all. He should, of course, have been given a rematch clause after losing the title, after having the deck stacked against him, in my view, and Lord Murphy Costigan's view as well, against Chase Emery. Yes, and he didn't get a rematch clause. What do you mean he didn't get a rematch clause? Joe Wheeler mentions that this week in the episode, just in passing. What do you mean? And now, the indignity of it. The indignity. The Lord is having to have a match against Marty Clay, fresh from a sojourn in Vietnam for his wrestling quality, in a contenders match. Well, yeah, I mean, Lord Murphy Costigan could have been a contender, to quote Marlon Brando, on the waterfront, and he was, and he won. Anyway, look, more of that in a minute. First of all, we have just Jeff Klepper, after the Yacht Rock theme tune, new theme tune, very Yacht Rock, very nice for Southern States Wrestling, very nice. We have Jeff Klepper versus Wild Bill for the Legacy Championship, because Wild Bill, I'll stop doing that now, good workout for the fingers though, is issuing and has issued an open challenge. And Jeff Klepper, actually, considering that Bill is a much larger man, takes it to him. I'll have a look at my notes while I'm here, because I don't want to miss anything. But you get things like a Klepper headlock, which has worked nicely, shoulder block, of course, from Bill, and a foot on the throat, because he's a naughty gentleman as well, let's not forget. But Klepper comes back with a throat thrust and a sort of boot wash. He doesn't do it with the kind of arrogance that a boot wash is often done. For a 1 count only, maybe you should have upped to the arrogance, that might have worked. Then he hits an elbow, does Klepper, double stomp to the face, that's nice. Bill gets some kicks from the mat, and I don't think Klepper expected that, a nasty suplex for a 2 count. There are some big punchlines, not a punch, not a clothesline, a Wild Bill punchline. 2 of those, I think, if I remember rightly, misses a leg drop, and then we've got Klepper just introducing his shin across the throat. He's got a 5 count referee, a 5 count, then a high kick in the face, gets his leg right up there, because he's a big dude, is Wild Bill, for a Wild Bill. I said I wouldn't do that, but I like it. For a long 2 count, then there's some more punchlines, not a punch, you know the deal, from Bill, an avalanche, an elbow drop. It's smooth offense, actually. He gets up and down very quickly to do those. Klepper has to go to the eyes, and then hits a sort of power bomb for a 2 count, but Wild Bill gets that belly-to-belly suplex, in which he really collapses on them for the pin, and he continues. And will he be fighting at April Aggression? Be there! That's coming. And here is your main event. It is, as I suggested, Marty Clay versus the ultimate talent centre of Southern States Wrestling, Lord Murphy Costigan. There is a Costigan armbar. It's reversed, and then reversed again. Lord gets the hammerlock, slaps him. You might as well take it out on him, because you're no contender, son. Well, you are. You're a number 1 contender, aren't you, with a rematch? So you are a contender. I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyway, there was a hip toss from Lord. He wanted a pin from that. I have to say, I do love you dearly, Lord, but you won't get a hip toss from that. Definitely not. Not even against Marty Clay. Ha ha, I'm only joking. Lord gets the uppercut, a hard posting, and then there's a drop kick from Marty Clay. In fact, he gives us a drop kick, then gives us another one. Yeah. Lord then begs off, brings him in, punches him. Nice. Then a kick, and Lord gets a knee drop. There's some trash talking. I'd expect that. After all, he is cheesed off. Some punches and a foot across the throat. He just is checking that his windpipe's okay. And he has a 5 count to check that, I'll tell you. Or maybe he was looking to say, are my wrestling boots done up properly? Have a close look. Then some forearms in the midsection. And as Joe Wheeler says, it's interesting. Not really seen this much before. He's working on the midsection. And it actually does work. He gets a long 2 count out of that. Nice drop kick for a 2 count. Poor shoulder block. And shoulder blocks, actually. Those kind of flying shoulder blocks from Marty. Not great. Lord gets an open hand strike. It's not a punch. And then perhaps a thumb to the throat. I didn't see it, but Joe said he did. If he did, he was just checking again that his windpipe and his Adam's apple were working properly. That is all. Lord then gets some blows to the ribs, midsection, you see, an arm crank which opens it up and he gets the knuckles in there. I really like that kind of abdominal stretch with the knuckles. But Clay's back with a headbutt. Lord really sells that. Gets a knee, that abdominal stretch, as I said, but uses the ropes. You might as well, if the ref doesn't see it. You are allowed to do that. You have a 5 count. Eventually, the ref sees it and kicks the rope. He's got a 5 count, ref. A 5 count. So then we've got we've got Clay on top because the ref kicked the ropes and distracted Lord. He's got a shoulder block and some forearms, a back suplex. He misses a leap off the top, reverses a suplex, and hits a neck breaker, which is quite nice, does Marty Clay, and gets the pin. The pin? Now, Lord and Mike Mann are talking afterwards, and Lord does say that they might be a tag team, and the outcome doesn't matter. The message does. Now, if that's his new way of thinking, I don't care about belts. I've had belts. It's important that you respect me. I think that's great, and it would mean that I wouldn't need to give you all this invective about how he's been cheated out of the belt. He might not have been cheated out of the belt. I mean, he lost cleanly here, didn't he? And that's fair enough. And it was a good suplex counter into a neckbreaker from Marty Clay. He's been to Vietnam, you know. You'd never know, though, because he didn't tell anybody. It's not mentioned in loads of programmes. But it is a good thing. It is. And he's now is he the number 1 contender to Chase Emery's belt? Chase Emery will make an appearance later on after there is afters from Lord and Mike Mann. He was just checking on the man to make sure he was all right. Mike Mann was checking on the man to make sure he was okay. And Chase and Lord probably will meet down the line. But if Lord is not as interested in belts now and is interested in making the message and creating an effect, he can certainly do that. Ta-ta.